Alright, welcome to another project video. Today's project, we're going to be upgrading the headlights on this 2019 Honda CRV. This upgrade applies to all 2017 to 2019 Honda CRVs that have halogen projector headlights. In this project, we'll be upgrading the halogen H11 bulb to an LED bulb. This is only suitable for vehicles that have projector headlights, and I do not endorse ever installing an LED or HID bulb in a reflector headlight. Alright, so now that's out of the way, let's talk a little bit about HID versus LED. So in years past, the high-end headlights had HID bulbs. So right here is an example. This is an H11 based HID bulb, and this is made by Morimoto, which would work in your CRV as well. Combined with an H11 headlight bulb, you would also have to have then a ballast. So here's an example of a new Morimoto XB35 ballast. So this combination right here would be a good setup, and it would work in your CRV. But there have been many advances in LED technology in the last few years, and previously when you bought LED headlight bulbs, they really were not bright enough to be used as headlights, and they were actually just plain and simply weren't safe. So most people, reputable companies, only recommended HID conversions, especially for projector headlights. So then along comes LEDs within the last few years. If you search Amazon or eBay, you'll find a million choices for LED headlights in whatever size that you need. So in our case, the 2017 to 2019 CRV uses an H11 bulb for the low beam projector headlight. I've tried out many of these bulbs over the years, and they all, not only is there completely false claims by the manufacturers and the sellers, most of them don't live up to the hype, and they're not safe for the road. And a lot of them put out obviously a different color temperature light, but it's less brightness than a standard halogen bulb. Then along came Morimoto, which is, as you can see, they're a company I support, and they are a little more expensive initially, but you do get what you pay for. When it comes to aftermarket HID and LED conversions, the Retrofit Source / Morimoto, that's really all I recommend. So, for example, this is an H11 LED bulb. This is their new 2-stroke 2.0 kit, and the output on these, it is not, straight up, it is not as much as an HID bulb, so keep that in mind, but it is more than a halogen bulb. Okay, and the LED technology, cosmetically, it looks better in the headlights because the HID bulbs, if you get a factory correct 4500K-ish bulb, 4000K-ish bulb, it will not match the LED lighting, the accent lighting on the headlight. So when you use LED headlights, there's a couple of benefits. Number one, it's easier to install. So you have a direct connect kit, which plugs right into the factory wiring, and then this goes right into the back of the headlight. With the HID, you really need to use a relay harness because of the increased power draw. It's not absolutely necessary on a CRV with a Morimoto ballast, but I always recommend it. With both of these technologies, HID or LED, there is a chance for EMI, electromagnetic interference. So when your headlights are on, you'll most likely notice it on radio. If you're listening to radio stations, FM radio stations in your car, it will either give you a lot of static on the stations, or it will make them completely unreachable. When you use a reputable company like Morimoto ballasts, LEDs, it does cut down on the amount of EMI interference because of the better shielding, but it does not eliminate it, and it is a problem that may come up. It just depends. You know, each car is different, the way the wires are. So there is something you can do about that. You can purchase these, and I always recommend getting a set of electromagnetic interference reducers. They have multiple names. Sometimes they call them CAN bus eliminators and all these different names. But the simple fact is it helps reduce the EMI. And there's a couple of different ways you can do that. So the simplest and cheapest way to try to reduce EMI interference is with something called a ferrite choke. And what this does is it's basically a magnetized piece of metal that you snap around the wiring harness going to your headlight. And with HID lights, it's important that you would do this on the high voltage side of the ballast and the low voltage side. And what this does is disrupts the electromagnetic interference with the magnetized metal. It actually disrupts that. It helps cut out the interference that's transferred into the wiring of the vehicle. So these do work. They don't always completely eliminate noise. So when you have a device like this that simply plugs in line, and in this case plugs directly into the H11 wiring harness on the car, and then this side plugs directly into the LED bulb. So this takes the place of the wiring adapter that comes with this kit, because you can see the pins are spaced a little bit differently. So you actually cannot plug this LED bulb directly into the H11 without the adapter that does come in the box. It's just a short piece of wire. So this eliminates that. This not only has a ferrite coil inside of it, but also has some capacitors to help smooth the out any interference even more. So, and it helps prevent any flickering to the LED. Some wiring in vehicles actually like pulses the headlights so fast that you can't see it on the halogen bulbs, but that's not really a problem with the CRV. It does not do that. It just sends straight 12 volts to the lights, but still these help smooth things out and will prevent radio interference. So now that we've got a lesson in all the technology behind it, we'll go ahead and move on to the actual install in the vehicle. Alright, we're under the hood at the CRV. When I say this is easy, I really mean it's easy. It'll be the shortest part of the video. So here is your factory plug right here. Best way to turn it is to first push the tab, remove the wiring harness like that, and then rotate the bulb counterclockwise and it will pull directly out. Once you have factory bulb out, installing the LED, get it lined up with the tabs, and you have to push really hard in while you're turning clockwise to lock it in position, because there's a big rubber gasket that holds it in there tightly. Alright, so after you have it installed, here's your wire coming from the headlight. It's very simple. We'll just make the connection to our EMI reducer. And after you've connected that, then you plug it into the factory harness on this side. So you have this bit of wiring. What I would recommend doing is kind of bundling this up and zip tying it out of the way. Make sure it's in a safe spot. And then that is basically, you're finished. It was that easy. Alright, so I've got one bulb switched out just for comparison's sake. This is probably the best way I can show you this. So if we look, and I block off the LED bulb completely, you can see there's the output from just the right side halogen bulb. If I step out of the way, see how much brighter it becomes? I'll block off the halogen. You don't really notice a difference. So again, I'll block the LED. That is the factory. Here's with the new LED bulb. Alright, here's with both sides completed. And here's what it looks like in front of the vehicle on the road. Nice, bright, crisp white light. really sharp cutoff line still intact. Alright, so real quick we'll test our noise isolators, our EMI isolators. So the best thing you can do to do this would be tune to a very weak station in your area. Alright, this is a distant station, and then flip on the headlights. As long as it doesn't become staticky, then you know it's working. In this case, we have no radio reception problems. Alright, so on a dark country road, see there's a lot of light output. Same height and cutoff as the factory halogen bulbs. And if you turn on your high beams, the halogen highs. So another upgrade would be to replace the halogen high beam bulbs with LEDs, but I kind of like the contrasting light color for nighttime driving. Alright, so here we are out on a paved road. Here's how the LEDs look. Nice and bright. The light really reflects off the lines on the road. Alright, so hopefully the video was useful. Show you how easy it is to upgrade your 2017-2019 Honda CRV to more modern LED projector headlights. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. There'll be a link in the description where you can buy these headlight LED bulbs for your CRV. Be sure to click that, like the video, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Until next time, we'll see you later.